Is it true that I can sub for free with Twitch Prime? Believe it or not, Reaper, yes it is. I don't know where you heard that. That was a closely guarded secret, but now you've let the cat out of the bag. It is true. If you have Twitch Prime, you can subscribe to the channel for free. And it might be worth doing it. Not just for the awesome emotes, not just for the chat badge, not just to support me. But also, if you want to take part in the $2,000 PC giveaway, subscribers do get an extra 5 entries into that. So you can use your free Twitch sub to get bonus entries into the giveaway as well. Alrighty, next game is about to come up in 10 seconds time, less even. Let's do it. Let's do it. Whoa, that's the one. Game 6. Here we are. Welcome, everybody. Frantic, China Frantic versus Finland A. Once again, sixth game in a row as we go into the Land Nomad match. This is going to be a match which could potentially favor China Frantic here. It is going to be a tough one for the Finns, but they've shown that they are a very strong team in this tournament so far. Last week, taking down China SY. This week, with a 3-2 lead over China Frantic. China Frantic, though, really pulling it back. They were 3-0 at one point. It's been match point for the last 2 games, and it's match point now here as well in game number 6. The Chinese team do need to win another 2 games in a row if they want to win this series. But obviously, they're going to have to take it 1 game at a time, and they're going to do that right here. Trying to get a draw after this game as we get a little bit of a game pause. So Land Nomad, it's a map which we don't see that often, or I've not really cast much Land Nomad. There was a big Land Nomad tournament a long time ago, but you don't see it that often anymore, I guess. So the map is Land Nomad, Ahabash. Every player has to start by building a lumber camp. They have to find sheep. They have to scout the map as much as they can with those sheep, because they don't start with the scout cavalry. Get as much scouting information as possible, and then build your TC. Try to build your TC in a good place. In Land Nomad, there's a lot of deer, a good number of boar, a good number of sheep. The gold and the stone, there's lots of it scattered around the map. There's a berry patch, and every player has got a starting location, but it's up to them to find it. It's up to them to get a good start, and obviously there can be a little bit of a bad TC placement coming down if players aren't careful. Players generally do spawn together as well, which does definitely help them, as it's not like a standard Nomad map where players can end up being on the opposite side to their teammates. Teaming together is still on, and teams will be next to each other when they do eventually plop their TCs down. Thank you very much to the number 23 for the sub. Welcome to the Church of Wallalow, my friend. Let's get some of those hypes in the chat. Let's get some Walla loves in the chat for the number 23. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. So, we'll take a look where the Finns are at. On the west side, we've got Max on that left flank again, playing in the teal as the Saracens here. In the pocket position, we've got Zuppy in the blue, playing as the Mayans. In the north of the map, in the pocket, we've got Valise in the orange, playing as the Persians. And on the northeast, in the purple, we've got Pike playing as the Aztecs. So it's going to be Persians, Mayans, Saracens, and Aztecs for the Finnish team. And it's going to be mirrored across the map as well, with Tim in the grey. I should start actually with CL, sorry, in the yellow, playing as the Saracens on the east side. Tim in the grey, playing as the Persians. Persians in the pocket. In the second pocket, you've got 5CM playing as the Aztecs in the red. And on the left side, you've got Jeffrey in the green, playing as the Mayans. Now, that last game on Black Forest was a game that we were speculating about, saying it could be a 5-hour slog match. It could be a game that never ends. It could be a fight for a choke point. that never gets resolved. And that is often the case with Black Forest, but not the way that this team played it. The Chinese team were very aggressive. They pushed the choke points early. They penetrated through to the other side. They set up camp, and then they pressured as soon as their pockets got to the Castle Age. Now, in Land Nomad, it's a map which looks really open. It's a map which looks like, oh, well, you know, this is open. This is going to be a lot of aggression and stuff. But I think the Chinese team, and well, both teams, will want to try and team wall as early as possible on this one. It's not uncommon to see team walls coming up. And players making sure that they are completely safe behind a very solid wall across the map, the whole map. So with a Nomad start, typically it's going to be a slower start, obviously. You are going to have a lot of a longer build-up, especially in Land Nomad, because you have to start by building a lumber camp. Obviously, by building a lumber camp first, then you have to grab the wood, then you have to build your TC. Whereas in regular Nomad, you obviously start by building your TC, and you can even afford to build a dock in regular Nomad too. So in Land Nomad, it's a slower start, and obviously there's no water, so you can't also build fishing ships. And as a result, because of this slow start, because of the fact that there is no scout, and that you're relying on your few sheep to give you map vision, players will typically fast castle, even in the flank positions. It wouldn't be surprising to see everybody just do a straight up fast castle here. And that's why you see civs coming through that are a little bit more like late game focused. Civs like the Aztecs, the Saracens, the Persians. We're not seeing Mongols here, for example. We're not seeing Huns here. So they're looking towards the late game with their civs. That's pretty standard. And Land Nomad can often be the map that I was saying before about Black Forest being the slog match. Land Nomad can really be the slog match as well. Now, I feel like this map will probably favor the Chinese team. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Finns maybe try and do something a little different. Maybe try and be more aggressive like they were in the Arabia game to start with, and like they were in the games after that where they got 3 wins in a row. But we'll see. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a slow and steady start. We're just currently watching players bringing their resources, checking out the scouting and things as well, and looking at where they placed their TCs down. Hello there, Mako3031. Hello to you. Welcome to the Church of Wallalo. So many subs today. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. Isoturi, why Mongols? Mongols are a late game civ. But the reason, I guess, with the Mongols in this one, actually, I need to check the, hold on. Let me just quickly check the civ rules for this, because that might have something to do with it as well. Let me very briefly check the civ rules. For some reason, I've lost the AOC zone page for it. Checking now. Double checking this. I just want to see if there's any crazy civ rules that we missed out on here. Game 7. Okay. Never mind. It's team random. It's team random. So they actually didn't pick their civs. It was just randomed, which makes sense. Because, I mean, obviously the Mongols would be a great choice here. So ignore what I was saying before. They've actually ended up randoming these civs. But to be honest, they've got pretty good civs considering they randomed it. I mean, neither team got any, like, weak civs here. They all got very good civs, so. Yeah, random with Aztecs and Mayans. Very random, isn't it? Very rigged. Obviously, a bit of RNG-sus coming in for both of these teams, getting some good RNG with the civ. But I mean, obviously, when it's team random, it doesn't matter so much anyway, because both teams are going to have the same civs. So there's no real advantage gained or lost due to the civ situation. But still, they do end up with very solid civs here. Aztecs and Saracens and Persians, all great late game civs. So we'll see how this goes. Obviously, as I say, it will be a slow start, but there you go. All right, look at this. We're nowhere near to even clicking up to the feudal age yet, and 5CM's already coming out to the middle to wall up. Hey, look, Tim coming out to the middle to wall up. CL closing off the right side of the map with houses. This is the China strat right here. This is what I was saying. China gonna wall it. China gonna play that long game potentially. But there's a lot of benefits to being walled. It's actually open here. If they don't close that, that's a big mistake. But there's actually a lot of benefits to being walled as well. Even if you want to play aggressively. If you play aggressively and you're walled, then you don't have to worry about counter aggression as much. Because your opponents aren't going to just surprise you by showing up in your base while your army's on the other side of the map. So China definitely taking that wall route, which is no surprise. The left side's going to be a challenge to wall up, though. It's very open. But the center of the map's very doable. And that's obviously a good thing for them. Zuppy coming forward, starting to wall a bit as well. And we're going to see I keep wanting to say Netherlands or Norwegian. I don't know why, but the Finnish team going to be walling up as well very soon. We already see Vili starting to close this. We see Zuppy coming forward here. We'll see Max walling with houses. So the team walls are coming up, and this is what I'm saying. This is one of those maps where even though it's a lot more open than Black Forest, it's actually a little more likely to see the slog match on this one. Yeah, Ivik, I don't know what's wrong with me. Every time I want to say Finland, like for some reason my head just says Netherlands. It's throwing me off. I can't help it. It's like this weird reaction. I don't know why. I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, Tim right now with a good score lead over everyone else, and I'll show you why that is. Tim. Fog of War on. Look at Tim. He sees all. Tim has so much map vision. He has so much map scouting. We're going to check the achievements here. Look at this. Scouting information. Where is it? Map explored. 23% for Tim. That's so much higher than anyone else in the game. So Tim's score already topping the charts at the moment. He's top of the pops, as he will have a lot of map vision. And that's obviously really important. Since you don't start with a scout, gives you the vision to wall up the middle of the map, gives you a really good idea where the extra resources are, where you really want to build up, where you want to get your second TCs down, etc., etc. So fast castles on the cards for everyone here. We're going to see Velis first to the feudal age, and Velis is off to a pretty good start, it seems. Pretty standard, 24 population up to feudal, with loads of resources in the bank. He is the Persians. Gonna go for the stable blacksmith. Gonna get some knights as soon as he gets to the castle age. Hello there, Grice Brew. I'm gonna say your name is Grice Brew. I can only assume. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to the Church of Wallalow. And I like this. The more subs we get, the more hypes and love there are in the chat. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. You guys are the best. You really are. We've got some stone walls coming up from Zuppy here. Using those cheaper Mayan stone walls. Lovely. Max is coming into lame Jeffrey to get some revenge. Remember last game? Jeffrey was... No, actually, never mind. It was Max who was walling Jeffrey. Uh-oh. Max might anger the beast again. He's walled up his stone. He's walled up his gold. Jeffrey may very well see that as a reason to get mad. You don't want to see Jeffrey when he's angry. Oh no. Starting to wall up back here, and the team wall for China, it's there, man. It's basically done all the way across the middle of the map. You can follow it from east to west. Look at that. From Paris to Berlin. And every disco these guys go in, there's a wall. There's a wall all the way along. Welcome to Hunter 2008. Goodness me. Such a train today. Welcome to the Church of Wallalow, Hunter. More and more hype. More and more hype. It's building. It's growing. We're getting back to the former glory days of the channel. I can't wait to get... can't wait to grow it back. That's what I mean to say. It's been a long time since I've streamed seriously, and it's so enjoyable. I love seeing all you guys. The regulars, the old guard, and the new guys as well. Making it here to the first times. Oh, look at this. A bit of a miscommunication here, maybe, between Max and Zuppy. Max is walling this across, and Zuppy's walling behind him. Let Zuppy do the walling, man. Mines have much better walls. They realize now, but it would be better for Zuppy to do the wall rather than Max. But Max has put his wall in a better position, really. Anyway, Castle Age is coming through here for these guys. Pike, Jeffrey, Valise, Zuppy, they're already up. We're going to see the Knights coming straight out for Valise. Of course, the second TC as well. For CL on the right side, we're going to see Knights from him as well. The Saracens are a strange civ, because you can't upgrade to Cavalier with the Saracens, but they still do a Knight Rush because it's still the better option than going for anything else in the Castle Age when everybody does a fast castle. Knights are very fast, unpredictable, very strong. Best option there is if you are a cavalry civ. Obviously, for the Mayan player, no knights available. It will just be a castle for Jeffrey, and he will go for the plumed archers. Now, I'm interested to see if Zuppy will go for the castle here, or if he'll go for the TCs. Looks like it's going to be the TCs. 3 TCs up for Zuppy, neglecting to build a castle, whereas Jeffrey's going for the castle. And this is very reminiscent of Game 1. If you were here to see that game, guys, you will know that the Finnish team, when they played Arabia, their Mayan player built the TCs first, and then the castle later. Whereas the China team built the castle first and the TCs later. And Jeffrey doesn't have enough stone for a second town center, but he has got a castle. He can make some plumes. So the China team maybe trying to be a bit more aggressive here. And we'll have to see if that pays off and if that works out. Jeffrey, of course, wants to be aggressive on the left flank. Get some revenge on Max for walling up his resources. But on the right side, it's going to be the Finns who are the aggressors. Pike coming in with the Mangonel and Monk. Very typical for the Aztecs. Best monks in the game. And Valise going to back him up with some knights as well. Few upgrades on these knights. No upgrades at all even on the knights. But they want to break through this wall. They want to bust their way through. Find a way into the China economy. If they can. But it's going to be Saracen Knights versus Aztec Knights. And the Saracen Knights are also very good. So don't count them out. But CL trying to get a conversion on the scout there. That would have been very nice. If he'd have got that, he could have killed the monks from Pike. Mr. Big Cookie. I've been here for years now. Just never subbed because I'm poor. Oh, don't feel bad, man. Obviously, I understand not everyone can sub. And I don't expect anybody to sub. I'm very appreciative of those who can and do. But I just appreciate you guys turning up to the stream and enjoying the games. That's what matters, really. Obviously, if you do sub and support me for it, I really appreciate that as well. But there's certainly no expectation there, Mr. Big Cookie. So, Valise coming to try a different angle now with the Mangonel coming up the rear. Oh, God, phrasing. I need to work on that. Pike... with the Mangonel, trying to break down the house as Jeffrey shows up with his plumes. A couple of monks could be easily picked off here. Gonna get the conversion though. Not necessarily worth it, to be honest, but oh, Mangonel. Ah, that's not so bad. They lose a monk and get three plumed archers. They convert one as well. It's not terrible. But now CL's pushing out with his monks as well, and things are gonna get messy on this right-hand side. And this is the reason why you wall on this map. This is why you wall up. Because imagine if there was a hole in these walls. Obviously, these knights would run straight in. They'd cause havoc in your economy. And you just can't afford to let that happen. The walling gives you a peace of mind. But oh, Pike has done atonement. He's going to start converting CL's monks over here. He's got to be careful. If he starts to lose the monk war... going to be in big trouble on this right side. On the left side, Max is also making a lot of monks as well. CL is now doing atonement himself. That allows you to convert enemy monks. Without that, you can't try and go for the conversions on your enemy. So CL's going to get that with 3 monasteries here. Thank you, Enadil, welcome back to the stream, man. Enadil's been here for years. Like, probably, I think you've been around for probably 4 years, man. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to the Church of Wallow. It's official. Enadil's back. Long-time follower and supporter of the channel. Show him some love in the chat. And CL now is moving on out. Convert houses. Well, that is also an option as well. If you don't want to waste your time using the mangonel to break through, you can do redemption and convert the buildings. Right now, though, Pike trying to get the conversions off on CL. CL's doing the same, but CL's going to come out on top. Look at that. CL getting most of the conversions in there. Even one of the knights getting converted to take down the mangonel. CL with some good micro, but Valise still has 3 knights left, and there's no faith left on these monks, so they can't convert the knights, and eventually they will be cleaned up. But good play from CL there. He just come out on top versus Pike. On the left side, though, Max. Max is here for revenge. Max is mad. Mad Max in town because Jeffrey humiliated him last game. Jeffrey now coming in. Oh, Max, you need to use your mangonels. Oh, no. The monks getting taken down. But ultimately, Max is going to win that fight. He does get a few plumed archer conversions. He does keep his monks alive for long enough, thankfully. He does have sanctity, giving him the extra 15 health. And the mangonels were so close to killing his own monks there. You got to be very careful with mangonels because a mangonel does 40 damage. And a monk without sanctity only has 30 health. So that sanctity is a little bit of a lifeline for the monks here, giving them just enough health to tank a mangonel shot. Obviously, plumed archers have 50 health, so they can tank a mangonel shot as well. But now, the shoe is on the other foot. Jeffrey's going to lose his TC, and Max is like, ha! You take mine, I take yours. Risking, though, running into the castle. Max is going to lose a mangonel for free there. Probably best to back up and go for the gate now. Jeffrey's down a TC, and he was already late to put his second TC down as it was. So very well played by Max on the left flank. And on the right flank, similar story, really. CL does have sanctity, but he will convert the mangonel. And now the mangonel's on the hill. 3 shots onto these monks. And with the attack bonus from the hill, he can one-shot the monks as well. So CL's playing great on this right side. He's getting some clutch conversions. Doing a really nice job. Pike's going to try and take out the mangonel. CL's going to try and convert the knight. He will do. And Pike's going to abandon ship on the mangonel. Oh my goodness, no. This is not going well for the Finns on the right side. They're just throwing away so much to the monks of CL here. Valise, however, score leading the game right now. Zuppy as well, up there with a lot of points. Why is that? Well, massive economy. Lots and lots of villagers, lots of TCs, lots of eco up for these guys. And Zuppy, you've got to remember here, Zuppy hasn't really been taking part in any of this aggression on the flanks. Zuppy's just been booming up. Imperial Age is coming in for him, and he's getting ready to go with the plumed archers. What am I talking about? With the eagle warriors, even. Getting the upgrades for the infantry here. Gonna be spamming the eagle warriors out, and it's really important at this point in the game that the Finns can make a hole in these walls and give Zuppy an angle of attack. He needs to be able to run in with the eagles and raid. And this is a problem. If the Chinese team aren't able to keep their wall up, those eagles are going to do a lot of damage. So at this point in the game, they are pushing out on the right side, and CL's doing a fantastic job over here. But the Imperial Age upgrades are starting to come in. However, with that said, 5CM is already imp. He is Aztecs and spamming eagles at the same time. And Tim is imp as well. Tim's going for cavalier. So the eagles are a very quick, powerful play. Nice play by Max here, actually, though. That's really nice. Putting a gates up on either side and just walling his monks in so he can get the conversions. Jeffrey's got something to say about that, though. He's coming in with the plumed archers, and this left flank is going to fall. There's no reinforcement from Zuppy here. Max is going to lose everything. And although this was a nice play, it's going to end up being a prison for Max. He does bring out a Mangonel. He misses the Plumed Archers. And everything is going to go down. That is costly for him. Pike as well now. After putting up so much aggression on this right side, he's had to fall right back as CL pushes out and comes out on top in the Monk War. So this is fantastic for the Chinese team right now, and I had them down as the favorites for this game. The Finnish team were very aggressive. They were hyper aggressive in the early Castle Age, but they weren't able to do enough damage, and now the Chinese team, fastest to the Imperial Age, counter-attacking very hard. Bringing out the Cavalier is Tim. Going to be a good fight for Tim here versus the Eagles. 5CM's got his Eagles here as well, and now it's 2v1 versus Zuppy in the center of the map. Zuppy needs some help. Zuppy needs some backup. Where's that backup, though? It's not there just yet. Velise, with the Cavalier, is making his way over. He's got to be very careful of those monks from CL, though. The monks from CL just scattered around the map, threatening to convert anything that gets in their way. Max is on the way up to Imp, but Jeffrey is already there. The green player's up already. Plumed Archers coming out for him. Even after losing a TC, Jeffrey, you know, he's not in a great place economically. He's behind in Vils compared to his whole team by quite a long way. But he is making plumes. He is in the Imperial Age, and eventually those upgrades will catch up. Max, though, trying to build the castle here. He will succeed. Thankfully for Max, he will keep them out for long enough to get that castle up in defense. And in the middle of the map, with the help of Velise, Zuppy will be able to push back a little bit. 100 HP on these Eagles now as El Dorado is completed for Zuppy. He's going for the tanky Eagle Warriors, which he's aiming to run in and raid with. But I don't think there's a hole in the China wall. And without a hole, these Eagle Warriors are kind of just stuck in the middle of the map, forced to take the engagements with Jeffrey and with the Eagle Warriors of 5CM. Though he might win this fight. The extra health and the upgrades are way in favor of Zuppy. He does have the extra attack upgrade. 5CM's fighting without Garland Wars here, so he doesn't have the bonus attack damage. And Zuppy and Velise going to push back on this left flank. On the right flank, though, this could be a disaster for the Finnish team. It's so exposed. There is no wall. The team wall is not there. It is broken. And Pike is under so much pressure to perform now, but performance anxiety kicking in, perhaps. He can't get up to the Imperial Age. He's not got the eco yet, and he's got a lot of monks, a lot of Cavalier on his doorstep. At this point, Tim can just take down the TC with his Cavalier. Pike doesn't even have fletching. This TC is not a threat to these Cavalier. And it should be a threat, but it isn't. Max is trying to get the Mameluke out. Obviously, Saracen Mameluke, a late-game powerhouse unit. There aren't any Mangudai in this game, so the Mameluke will have to do. But they will perform well in this matchup anyway. There's a lot of cavalry coming out for Tim, with the Paladins going to be on the way soon. There they are. Paladin coming in about 80% now. So the Saracen Mameluke is a great unit choice there. They're also pretty good at dealing with the Eagle Warriors, as Eagle Warriors don't have that high melee armor. Plumed Archers do okay versus them, but obviously they need a meat shield in front. And that meat shield is going to be cavalry, which is going to die to the Mameluke. But yeah, the right flank for the Finns is collapsing in on itself, and Pike's moving back. Look at that wood line. It's beautiful. So efficient. It's like 7 villages right there just idle because they can't get out. Oh, dearie dear. And like I say, the big concern here, is that should the Finnish team try and trade, they're not going to have a safe trade line. The Chinese team's already within striking distance of that. However, I do feel like the Mameluke could be the unit here that turns this around. We've got CL going for more conversions in here. Those monks have been doing business, man. They've done so well. I want to check the conversions to CL at the end of this game. But, you know, Max isn't the only player going for the Mameluke here. Elite Mameluke is coming in for CL as well. And China, overwhelmed. Pike getting some monk conversions on the paladins. The Saracen Mameluke and the paladins from Velise able to push it back for now. But oh, there's another hole. If there's a hole, there's a goal. China know it. And their goal is to run in, get into the economy of the Finns and disrupt things as much as they can. Make the Finns chase them with groups of units. Distract their attention. Kill their trade before they can get it going. And there's a lot of Eagle Warriors in the base here for Zuppy. They are chasing down a group at the back, but there's another group over here uncontested. And they might just find another way in as well by the looks of things. Jeffrey getting into a little choke point here to take down the paladins, no problem. And the holes, man. This is why you team wall. This is why China are in a favored position to win this game. Because the team wall is there. The Finns really have their work cut out now. They've got a lot to do to bring this back. Look at all the text coming in, though. It's crazy. We have now got full upgrades on the Aztec Eagles as well as the Mayan Eagles. So we should see 5CM taking some better fights now that he's not completely outgunned. But they will be outnumbered in this left flank for now, so going to have to go back. But look at all this. Look at how many dead bodies there are here. A lot of dead villagers for Max. Max is down to 86 villagers after that raiding. Zuppy lost some villas on his farms. Max lost some back here as well, which I think I missed, unfortunately. But 89 villas now. He's got to make that back up. And oh, wow. Look at these plumed archers here, just sitting in this corner, doing a lot of damage for free. Zuppy, Velise is both on the left flank now, while the right flank is being pushed in again. You know, it's like China's pushing in on one side, and then they push on the other. And by the time the Finns react, the other side's already started pushing. So it's going to be really tough for them to keep up. It's now the Finns who are playing very reactionary. It's now the Finns who are chasing the Chinese team down. Velise doesn't have a single paladin, really. Oh, no, he does. He does have a few on this right side, but he doesn't have enough on this right side. On the left, he's got a bunch. But now it's the right side which is starting to push in. The Elite Mameluke for CL in position with their bonus 16 attack, I believe, versus cavalry. Plus the 10 damage they do as well. They hit hard. They hit very hard. CL with his trebs, with his castles pushing forward. Leapfrogging his way. Look at this. Just leapfrogging in towards Pike's eco here. Pike is now Imperial. He's trying to get block printing up. He's trying to get some more techs for his monks. He's thinking, if I can get the conversions, I can hold out. But really, at this point, I feel like he is just holding. As Zuppy switches into plumed archers now. Maybe a little bit of a better choice versus the Mameluke. But CL is a powerhouse on the right side. These Mameluke aren't even fully upgraded yet. He's really trying. CL's going to get the next castle ups. Tim's there with his paladins to help. And boy, is this going to be a tough game for the Finns now. The aggression is coming in on both sides, and they just can't seem to stop the momentum of this Chinese push here. The monks, though, from Pike, here we go. Conversions coming in on the Mameluke. 4 or 5 conversions, perhaps, as the Mameluke go back. Iron casting now coming in for the +2. Heavy camel now coming in for Velise. And heavy camel's not a terrible choice here, but obviously a bit better than paladin in this case. But it really is a defensive unit. Max on the left side. Where's his army? Doesn't exist. Max is all out of army here. Why is that? Well, he's currently fighting on the east side. So his own base unprotected. He's relying on Velise to protect his base. And in come a bunch of Aztec pikes and halbs from the Mayans and a bunch of plumed archers. Max is going to try and rush up a castle, but Velise is here with the paladins. Can he get the castle up? I think he can. Going to delay this a little bit. His own Mameluke now having to run back as Tim comes in the middle of the map with a lot of paladins. This isn't going to be a great fight for Tim. Needs to back away from there. CL continuing to push forward. Siege workshops now being placed forward. More rams coming out. Siege rams on the way in. Saracens have great siege. Tim's running back with his palas. While the left side, we've got more trouble in Max Town. A lot of elite plumed archers here just killing his eco off. Max did recover in villager count, but he's going to be back down again if he's not careful. The center of the map, CL's coming over, and that's going to be the end of that. They tried to make a push before. Tim forced a reaction from the Finns. The Finns come in. Tim runs back. CL comes in. Then they push it back together with the Mameluke and the Paladins. Zuppy's on mass help now. Not a bad unit choice, to be honest. I don't know what the gold's looking like for the Finnish team, but I imagine, yeah, it's very low. They're trying to get the trade going. At this stage of the game, they're investing in the trade units. There's 24 trade units for Zuppy, 22 for Max. Only 3 trade for Pike, though. Jeffrey doesn't have much trade either. But the trade's looking... It's actually looking a little healthier for the Finnish team. They've got a little bit more trade. But that also means that if they lose the trade, they've got more to lose. So they've got to be very careful. They've invested a lot into it. And if they lose it now, it's going to be very, very tough. It's GG, apparently, according to the chat. It may very well be GG here. As Frantic are looking super strong on this right flank. A lot of monks from Pike, though. Don't underestimate the ability of these monks to turn this around. The problem is, it's just such a micro-intensive unit. And I don't think it's enough. No, it's not enough. CL will clean those monks up. Pike's going to take some big losses now. His score dropping rapidly as those monks get obliterated there. On the left side, Jeffrey's in as well, and this is over for the Finns. I'm not one to call it too early, but it is not too early anymore. That castle's going down. Max is trying to repair it. They're dangerously close to this trade line. We've got onagers coming through now. Siege onager will be on the way soon for the red player. Siege onager's already on the way for CL. CL with the siege onager tech coming in is going to be unstoppable on this right side. Mameluke, no problem. Siege onager will do the trick. CL's been the MVP of this game for me. Great monk play in the early Imperial Age. And following it up with some fantastic Saracen play in the late game. Onager's coming in for Max, while Siege Onager's coming in for 5CL right now. This left flank is gone. The plumed archers are about to make it into the trade line. And like I said, the Finnish team have invested more in trade so far this game. If they lose it now, well, that's bad news for them. That is a game-winning move from the Chinese team as they break in now to the trade, and they'll look to take down the markets with the siege rams here. And it's GG. They're calling it right there. The Finns, they win 3 games in a row. They lose 3 games in a row. And I can't believe it, but it is 3-3. Unbelievable. China with the comeback here. It's been match point for 3 games in a row, and China are on the way back. They're actually 1 game away from taking the series right now. This is very close. This is very tense. Taking a look at the scoreboard.